you came into my life.
My name is Julie Kouamo. I come from France, but I'm half Cameroonian, half French. I've been living in France throughout my first 20 years of my life, in north of France, Lille. But my dad is from West Cameroon, from a village called Bango. I grew up in France, but my dad wanted us to know about the country, his country, and where he's from. So from very, very a little age, we went there every other year to Cameroon for a summer holiday. And that stuck with me. From a young age, I learned to go to my dad's village where you can find really the red earth and the really green vegetation, how the different trees, the fruits, the colors, and as well the fabric themselves, how the women go to the market and sell the peanuts and the bananas, but like in the whole, with their whole fabric textile, the whole wax fabric were just really present. And I think that stuck with me for the design work that I'm doing now. I think you can say that my textiles are quite bold, in a sense that I don't restrict myself with splash of colors. Colors define my work, and I've been influenced by the Cameroon colors, so the red from the earth, as well as the indigo coming from the different ceremonial, traditional, when they do funerals or when they've got like secret ceremony. I'm not afraid to use red and oranges and bright colors. I managed to get the two different countries that I'm from together. I try to show through my textile the different emotions that I get when I go to one country and then when I'm in another country. So you've got the boldness and the rich colors of Africa associated with a more subtle ways in Europe that we're a bit more, we don't want to show too much. So I'm trying to get those two emotions together, as well as when people look at my textiles, I want them to be able to feel something they felt before when they see my textiles. And I think I managed to do it quite well, because when I get the feedback, people are either inspired or they go back to some memories, or they appropriate themselves with my textile. And that's what I want in terms of be able to inspire people.
So perfectly designed for you. Oh, I like the way that you came my way. I like your way.
France is where I grew up. It's where I've got my memories. It's where I got my friends. It's a big part of me as well. And it was a very interesting experience being, for example, being one of the first Black or mixed race child in a private school. It's all that really taught me a lot of things. I was lucky enough to go to a fashion school in France where I understood as well about the art theory. I was able to go to the Louvre and to go to all those museums that were in Paris, and you get that culture as well through that. I got taught as well the conceptual things, instead of when I came to London, which I was very lucky as well to be able to go to Central St. Martin's. I got taught more about the technical side of things and about the different techniques, the different type of pigment, how to dye, which I didn't learn as much in France. In France, it was more about how to create a collection, how to conceptualize. Here it was more hands-on. And again, it's about being able to mix those two educational systems and translate it through my work. Cameroon is about holidays, and it's about my origin as well. It's not my everyday life, but it's still a part of me. First, I'm French, but then still Cameroon is in me Being older, I appreciate it more. I think throughout, especially teenage years, sometimes it felt like a chore to have to go. But now when I go back, I love taking my camera and I try to get everything. I try to take pictures of the vegetation, the peanuts, the corn. Cameroon is something that I cherish when I'm able to go there now. Because I think it's very important to go back to that and not just to be always around consumerism, and just to go back to your roots, basically.
I don't wanna let you go until I tell you that I love you. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You're my body and soul, so perfectly designed.
So in my work, I use the old and traditional printing techniques that you can find, for example, screen printing. As well, I use block printing. So basically, it's to be able to transfer the image or the design that you've got onto paper. Other techniques that I use are foiling and flocking. So those are the techniques that I'm working with, but I mix it with now the modern technology. We've got digital printing, so we've got softwares like Photoshop and Illustrator to create my own type of design. Basically, that's how I experiment. I want to get further along. I want to push the processes. Again, it's a bit difficult because then there is a fine line between experimenting and then be able to sell, to be commercial. And that's the fine line. You have to be careful. You want to experiment, but then you want to have an end product. So that's what was good in college, is you are able to experiment and go as far as you can, because at the end of the day, you're there to learn. And then when you're going into the professional side of things, then you want to still use your processes, but you need to tone down a little bit then to be able to sell, because I am still a business and I want to be able to make money out of my textiles.